Chelsea Football Club have completed the deal to bring Jules Kounde to Stamford Bridge. He will sign an agreement until 2027 after already having personal terms agreed for a long period of time. Barcelona simply couldn't cope with the speed, the money, and of course the amount of money up front Chelsea were willing to pay to get this deal over the line. Jules Kounde will become the third summer signing for Thomas Tuchel and Todd B. Koulibaly in, Raheem Sterling in, Jules Kounde next. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Barring the biggest catastrophe in the history of Chelsea's modern history, this deal is done, dusted, and over the line. The likes of Matt Law and, of course, our very own Ben Jacobs have claimed that the deal is, I'm going to read out their actual words for you so I can put it out verbatim. But Jules Kounde will sign a contract with Chelsea until 2027, having already agreed. Only the formalities now remain. The formalities are essentially the medical gets completed, there's sign off by both ends, lawyers review the work, but the deal to sign the player is complete. The player is given the green light to Chelsea. It did appear yesterday he gave a little bit of time to Barcelona to maybe try and get a bid in that was acceptable. We know he was open to Barcelona, but he was very open to Chelsea Football Club as well. He gave them an extra sort of 24 hours. Barca have not responded. They could not compete with the financial might of Chelsea on this particular deal. And we're not surprised. They've already signed Lewandowski. They've already signed Dembele and Rafinha. And interestingly, everybody always felt at some point this summer, Barca would run out of the ability to spend until particular players had left their football club. And it's now kind of bit them on the backside a little bit here. They've not been able to land Jules Kounde, but it's all right. They've got Christensen. They're going to be absolutely fine. Imagine the upgrade there. Chelsea have gone from Christensen to Kounde. Barca thought they were going to get Kounde. They've ended up with Christensen. Chelsea have walked out of this smelling of absolute roses. A sensational piece of business, you know. And I think for me and from my point of view, I've said this on many occasions, like Chelsea were going to have a good summer. They are having a good summer. Rivals are trying to banter them every 5 minutes, and I just find it dead. I find it boring banter. I can't do it myself because it's only ever going to come back and bite me in the backside. I'd rather be on the inside of the tent spitting out than the outside spitting in, because when it starts raining and that zip goes up, you know what I mean? I'm left out in the cold. And as far as I'm concerned, Chelsea are having a phenomenal summer. They really are. No, who's had the best? I don't really care about who's had the best. They're just having a phenomenal summer. I want to say, by the way, a big thank you here to Atkin for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace. If we hit 1,250 likes live on the air today, we will give out 10 brand new free memberships. He's become a first team member of the Football Terrace. I thank you very much for doing that, my friend. As a Chelsea fan, I'm not too excited by this window right now. We have not got our number one priority, which was a CDM, centre-back sorted, focus on CDM. Well, I think your number one priority was centre-backs. Your number one priority would have been CDM. But Thomas Tuchel, your manager, the Champions League winning, world-class manager, said we have to fix the centre-back area before we go elsewhere. 3 centre-backs, well, 2 gone. Aspie may go, and a lot of people think Kounde coming in will be the sort of catalyst to him leaving and going in the other direction. But look, from my point of view, look, I think you may now move to the midfield areas. Interestingly, one of the stories we're talking about on the show today is De Jong. Bayern Munich have ruled themselves out of that deal. Now, they've ruled themselves out of Ronaldo, and some people think they may come back in later down the line. But as of now, they've ruled themselves out of the De Jong deal. So maybe that's the area that Thomas Tuchel goes into next. Maybe they try and hijack Man United and land one of the best midfield players in Europe. You throw a De Jong into this Chelsea team with everyone else you've signed, you're title contenders without a shadow of a doubt. On paper, it's all on paper. We've got to wait and see who delivers. On paper, your team should be challenging. Anything less than going toe-to-toe with Liverpool and City is failure. And Chelsea fans know that. Your squad's brilliant. Your manager's brilliant. So I think you'll move on to that next. Mish here says, pray for Romano. Yeah, he's getting cooked a little bit today on socials, ain't he? He's getting cooked a little bit today, but he deserved it. Terry, I just realized I've been a member for 2 years and 5 months. My God. And what I'm working on tonight when I finish streaming is I'm working on all the new updated badges. They're all going to incorporate our brand new logos. And if you haven't seen our new logos, I'll actually put them in now. We've got a different colored logo for every single one of the top 6 teams. And then we have like a black and white, and we have a black and white logo that we put out for. Have I got them all in there? Yeah, I put them all in there. And a black and a white logo, and that inverts itself for the Football Terrace generally. So thank you all very, very much. And there's lots more coming on a membership level. So a lot of you have been gifted them this month. Keep them. We're looking at least 2 bits of content per week for members only moving forward as the new season starts. So you want to make sure you've got yourself signed up to that, my friends. Chelsea need a striker who can score 20-plus goals a season. Well, they've got a goal scorer in Raheem Sterling that is capable of doing that. No doubt about it. They have to add more. They have to add more to this, that without a shadow of a doubt. But the window isn't over. There is still 5 weeks. Remember, at the end of August, this window shuts. We're still only on the 22nd of July. So there's 5 weeks remaining. Deals will start to come through thick and fast, and you will see Chelsea sign more players. They have gone big this summer already, and I think they're going to continue in that vein. A super chat here says, keep the blue flag flying high, is from Moose Wizard. Thank you. The new profile picture is bloody nice, I must say. I appreciate, the new, I like the new branding on the Football Terrace. I'm a big fan of. I'm a big fan of. Does TFT also mean Terry Fleurs Terrace? No, it doesn't. But the fact it has my actual initials in it as well is quite nice. It's quite nice. But yeah, there was never any kind of thought around like that. But there we go. Erling Haaland, Chelsea have more Champions League than you. A little bit of banter going on between the viewers right now. Simon Smith says, we are weak up front apart from Sterling. Well, I think you're going to address that. I think you're going to address it. I still think you guys should give Brayer a chance. I think there's a real player in there. I think there's a real player in there that could deliver something extra special for Chelsea. It's whether Thomas Tuchel fancies him or not, though. West Ham, as we know, are seemingly closing in on the deal for Scamacca. So if they sign Scamacca, does that mean they're out of the Brayer race? Who else may come in for him? Is that because Chelsea have said, actually, we're going to give him a bit more of a chance than we initially expected to? Yeah, very intrigued to see sort of which way round that goes. We've got man like Jem from GNA TV, and of course the Terrace alumni coming on to join us very, very soon. I want to say a big thank you, though, to Mount Got Minerals for becoming an official member of the Football Terrace this evening. Thank you very much, my friend. Man like Prime's here. He says, Terry Fleurs Terrace, that actually quite clever. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I didn't think of it, though. I might just palm it off and say, yeah, I did. Nathan here says, Terry, I wonder if Rival talk about his height. No one's going to. He's actually an inch, I believe he's an inch shorter than Lisandro Martinez. And I guarantee you, on a scale of 1 to 10, a ratio of 10 to 1, when we're talking about his height, I haven't seen nothing so far. I've not seen Sky talk about it. BT, I've not seen TalkSport. Let's see if they do. And this is why I keep telling Mushrooms, the Man United Mushrooms, stop being drawn into the negativity. You've even seen from Ten Hag in his press conferences in the last day or so, we need more players. The booze will stop when the player plays better. I told everyone not to panic that he wasn't calling Maguire an absolute in the first press conference. He was never going to do that. He wasn't going to say, yeah, Maguire, I think he's absolutely that was never going to happen. Slowly, methodically, getting his message across in a professional way. But the Mushrooms, I just want him to rant and scream like me. No, you don't, because then you'd moan about that as well, you melt. Kounde's 5'10", Kounde's 5'8". I heard he was 5'8". That's what I read the other day. Let's work this out. I'm going to Google it. Kounde height. Okay, Kounde's height. He is 1 meter and he's 1 meter 78. Okay, so meters into feet, right? Let's just do this. Meters into feet. Meters into feet and inches. 1.78 meters is is 5.83 inches. The 3 can't be counted. You anything 4 and under you round down. That's math. So he's 5'8". He's 5'8", nearly and a half. Like, it's not a dig. That's just his height. That's literally what it says. What is 180 6 foot? I don't think 180 is 6 foot. No, 180. I thought, I'm sorry to be rude. No, 180 is 5'9". There's 2.5 centimeters to an inch. So, boys, how big are your inches here? Some of you, 9 inches. You ain't, bruv. That's an inch. That's 2.5 centimeters. Some of you man are out here capping on your Tinder profile, bro. I'm telling you. If you're 1.8 meters tall, you're 5.9 foot. You've got a bit. I think 8'3" is about 6 foot. 8, yeah, 3, yeah. There we go. Our big up man like Winter Surfer here, becoming an official member of the Football Terrace again. Thank you very much, my bro. Thank you. Do you know what it is with a lot of people, right? What it is with a lot of people is, I think I've got a mate that always tells everyone he's 6 foot. And I know I'm not 6 foot. And I stand next to him and his head's there to me. I'm like, bro, why are you saying you're 6 foot when you're like 5'9", 5'8"? He's like, don't tell anyone. I'm like, but people can tell when they look at you. We know what 6 foot looks like. Thank you, Jack. Jack has now signed up to our membership program as well. What an absolute legend. What an absolute legend you are, Jack, me old mate. Legend and super fan from man like Winter Surfer. Jack has signed up to also be a legend and super fan of the Terrace as well. When our wingbacks were healthy, we were challenging. We need wingback cover more than a DM. I believe I don't trust Emerson and Kennedy. I think there's that. I mean, Kounde can also cover in those positions as well, so you get a fair element of cover from him as well. Going to start going to some calls in a minute. I'm going to share the link for you to phone in as well. I want to hear from you live on the show today. Someone says Fab has tweeted. What has Fab tweeted? What's he tweeted? Afraid that Antony could leave. No, we have sold a certain number of players, and I'm expecting nobody else to leave. Yeah, he's expecting no one else to leave. That doesn't mean he isn't going to leave. I wouldn't take too much notice in that at all, if I'm being honest. But there we go. I don't think there's much in it. Man like Jem's coming on with me now to have his say on these matters. We're going to share the link for you guys to call in very soon as well. You know what to do, people. Make sure you're all smashing that like and that share button. I'm looking for a button and I can't find it. Let's do this. Jules Kounde in. What are you saying, Jem?
Crown Jewels, baby. The Crown Jewels is arriving in London. That's all I'm going to say. And listen, I've wanted this guy for a very long time. Actually, Terry, we had this conversation even before he was even linked to Chelsea. We was talking about Varane and that on your channel. And I was asked, who do I want? And I actually said Kounde. People were like, what Kounde? Why do you want Kounde for? You don't want Upamecano. You don't want this. You don't want that. And I was like, no, Kounde. So I'm quite a happy guy. I'm not going to lie at the moment. I'm happy that he's coming to Chelsea. Obviously, we've not had that here we go. But obviously, Matt Law's put his dagger in and confirmed that he's, it's pretty much the formalities are nearly there and stuff. So, yeah, I'm happy. And again, it's a player that makes a lot of sense when you think about what's required at the back. I think him and Koulibaly are two perfect players to sort of, replace the Christensens and the Rudigers. Obviously, we'd have Thiago Silva in the middle of three. But ultimately, the most important thing with these signings is the fact that we've got the versatility option here. And people were saying about if switching from a 3 to a 4, that allows us to do that more so now with these centre backs as well. It's a good bit of business. How much have we spent on 2 centre backs? We've spent 55 million euros that we've put in for Jules Kounde, and we got Koulibaly for 34 million plus add-ons. So you're looking at about 70 to 80 mil.
70, 80 mil, yeah.
That's not bad. Look at the profile of players that we're talking about here. Two centre backs that are pretty decent, high profile European players for me. He isn't the complete player. He's not world class. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a top player. But under this manager, and this is why I wanted him so much, under this manager and in this system specifically, and how we play, I think he fits it like a T. I genuinely do, and I think he's gonna do really well at Chelsea. And the next step is looking at other areas, because we ain't finished. There's a lot more that still needs to be done, I feel, and I think that we could potentially sign another 5. I reckon we could probably get in total about 5 to 6 players. So we've got 3 at the moment, haven't we? I think we need a forward. I agree with the wing back scenario, but I just think with the central midfield area, it's going to be a little bit of a question mark, because we know Declan Rice's interest is there, but for the amount that's required for him, I just don't think that's going to happen this season. So it's going to be interesting for Chelsea.
No doubt. And I think you will then move on to more players. And I think this the last month of the window when the games start is where you're really going to see things increase. I was reading a report today. It was about Man United, but it was talking about football in general, where some players in all our squads will wait and see how much game time they get in the opening couple of weeks. Because some players are getting a bit, like, if you look at my club, and I'm sure you've watched your games more, there'll be certain players getting a bit of preseason time. And then the first 2 games of the Premier League might kick off and they don't kick a ball, they don't come off the bench, even with 5 subs. They then start to look to move on. So I kind of feel like there's still more work for Chelsea Football Club to do. They initially said they could spend up sort of north of £200 million this summer. And that's seemingly possible, mate. You really could end up spending that amount of money. There's no doubt about it. You really could. And my favorite thing here, my favorite part of this, and I'm not a Chelsea fan. People always say a twerk. Ironically, people have said a twerk for Arsenal this summer. But I will say this about some Gooners that come on the football terrace. They look so stupid now after acting like Chelsea were going to have the worst summer in history. For me, your window's already on par with City's. Already on par. Now, on par. I think that, of course, they've got Haaland, which is absolutely massive. You had a massive hole to fix. You had Rudiger leaving and 2 other defenders. You have fixed an absolute gargantuan hole in your club. You've improved your attacking line because Sterling is better than Lukaku. Yes, you need to add more for it to be better, but I think you're in the ballpark at least. Maybe not on par, but you're in the ballpark with them. You're in the ballpark with Spurs. They're voted as the teams with the best 2 windows. Chelsea, with this deal, have moved into that echelon for me.
When you look at that, when you look at what Tuchel said was going to be the rebuild, and you already look at the profile players that we've signed, you could easily argue that Raheem Sterling and Koulibaly are them type of players that are kind of like, all right, Koulibaly might be a little bit on the other side, but sort of in their primes. This is not like we're buying young players and Tuchel needs like 3-4 years to get these young players to the level of we know that these players are good. Raheem Sterling's proven in the Premier League. He scores goals. He contributes to goals. He's versatile. Koulibaly, on the other hand, has been voted as one of the best centre-backs in the last, 5-10 years in his position, top 5 as well. And Jules Kounde is one of them sort of players that is well known across Europe, still very young, not at this probably level that they are, granted, because he's still very young, but has the potential to reach that. And I think it's about having the balance, it's not just having too many young players. It's like having the experience, which we haven't got. I think adding these 2 key players gives that experience and that leadership qualities. And then you throw in some top quality youngsters to try and mix them with that, basically.
Mate, I couldn't agree with you more. We're going to talk about some other Chelsea targets in a minute because one has come up today. I want to say a big thank you here to man like Aiden for also becoming an official Football Terrace member today, an academy member of the Terrace. So thank you very much for doing so. Daniel here says, people thought Chelsea were finished. I always say whoever laughs the loudest. And you're bang on, Daniel. Like, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but the thing is with me, I keep having this argument with people. There's football banter, and then there's people that take football banter too seriously. And like, Jules comes on here as a Chelsea fan, Spurs fan, and I can tell when he's bantering, and I can tell when he's being serious. Some people, it's like they take the banter as serious football analysis. It's unbelievable. So I agree. I couldn't agree more. Where are the Karma Kounde folk now?
Barca. Good about the Romero guy, isn't he? Who put Karma Kounde out as if to say, like, who's coming to us, and all of a sudden it backfired. Did you see all the Kounde is blue hashtags with the Chelsea fans?
Mate, yeah, they've absolutely cooked him today. JW says 1 meter 77 is 8 feet, 12 inches in a foot, so 5 foot 9.9 inches.
Look,
Yeah,
can I
but
just say something on this? Right, really, let me just simplify. It's this whole thing when people say Jules Kounde's small, he ain't going to work in the Premier League. If you go and look at his statistics in the last 2 seasons in the Liga, he's won over 3/4 of his aerial duels. He's got, he can obviously, all right, he might be, he's pretty much the same height as Reece James. It's just that Reece James is stockier. He looks bigger. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got a spring. The boy can jump. He plays centre back for Seville. You know, he's only played in the back four for Seville. He has played off the right as well. But this whole thing about his height, I just find it very weird. It's just like trolls for me.
this here says, Terry, there's 12 inches to 12 inches, not 10. I know that. So 5'8" means 5'9" to 5'10". No, it don't. It means it's 5'8". It's
Yeah.
so like if you're 5'8", it takes 2.5 more centimeters, which is essentially 1 inch to get to the next level. So if you're being 5'8" doesn't mean you're somewhere between. How does that even mean? No, sorry, Hassan. No, you can't be 5'8". 5'8" isn't taller than 5'9".
1.78 is 5.84, which basically primarily means you're closer to the 5'8" than you are the 5'9".
Because no one said again. We like age. No one says I don't go. I'm 36 and a half. I'm 36 until I'm 37. You're 5'8" until you're 5'9". You're 5'9" until you're 5'10". Like that's just it. Like no, we're not gonna say he's 5'8" and 3/4, like or 1/3. No, come on, my guy. I was watching Man United Liverpool fan reaction. Redmen TV said that Fred scored. It's good because he will be selected in starting 11. I was laughing so hard. Do you know what I love about preseason? Liverpool fans said to Man United fans, it doesn't matter, you batter us. Preseason means nothing. Right now, they're having a parade for 4 goals from Darwin Núñez. That's why I love football fans so much. They're so hypocritical. It's funny. Chelsea won. Listen, this is the next story I want to speak to you about. The story that's circulating today is coming from up north as opposed to anywhere else right now. But it's rumored that Chelsea are eyeing St Maximin. How would you feel about a man like Alan St Maximin coming in to Chelsea Football Club?
Well, I know how KJ would feel about it. He'd be twerking for him at Man United, wouldn't he? He absolutely loves him. I don't know, Terry. I find St Maximin a very weird player. Like on his day, he's amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, but you know, when you look at the profile of player and what he possesses, the dribbling ability, being able to take a man on. Granted, we need more of that. Sterling's can do that. Pulisic should be doing it. Doesn't do it as much. It gives you that. You know, is the output levels there? Potentially, yeah. Can he contribute to the goal levels that we need? I don't think so. I'm not a massive fan of him personally. I mean, would you take him to Man United?
No. I think that again, this link is loose. This is the kind of level that Chelsea don't want to be touching. This guy will excite you. Yeah. He'll put you on the edge of your seats. He will make you feel excited in games, but he'll get to the byline and he'll cross it and he'll smack someone in the shed end. You know what I mean? He isn't the quality that Chelsea Football Club need. Just quickly here, an update from Fabrizio. Fabrizio Romano has said, Barcelona feel that Chelsea's proposal for Jules Kounde is too important to be matched. 50, yeah, I think that's maybe the translation. Yeah, that's what he has said. 55 million to Sevilla with very good payment terms, almost 9 to 10 million euros on salary. Chelsea's contract already in Sevilla's hands since yesterday, deal at final stages.
Terry, can I ask you something?
Go on, mate.
Why is he sitting on the fence so much with this deal? When you look at just specifically his comments on this deal, he's gone from what he's called the tapping merchant, to sitting on the fence at the moment. Why?
Fabrizio isn't so much sitting on the fence. What Fabrizio does, and this is his business model, and it makes sense. Unless there is no truth. So today he's come out and said he spoke to Sporting Lisbon or he spoke to Liverpool that there is nothing going on. But he you'll find me anytime you've seen him banter, badmouth, or play down any club.
He never does.
He never does. So he isn't sitting on the fence on the deal. What he will do, though, I'm more pro Premier League. I just am. So I'm like, Chelsea smashed them out of the water. Chelsea would. It's almost when there's two teams neck and neck, Fabrizio Romano will remain very neutral, very Switzerland, and just and report things in a way, in my opinion, that are kind to both sides. If a team misses out on a player, he's kind. Yeah. And that's because what Fabrizio wants, and it's very smart, he wants every fan base to want to listen to his news. If he did, and I've had this word with a lot of journalists, if you're a journalist that's always digging at a particular club, that fan base never listens to you. So that's why he does it. It's very smart
Yeah,
from him.
but
Very
with
smart.
the Rafinha deal, it was very. He didn't sit on the fence there. He went full agreement in place with Chelsea and Rafinha. It was straight up. There you go. Do you know what I mean? I kind of feel like he committed more to that tweet than he has with the Jules Kounde one. I.e., maybe because he's worried that they might do it again. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense there. It does. Someone here says 5'8" on a decimal scale is feet only. 0.85 feet is equivalent to 10 inches. Yeah, but this is again. All I can tell you, my guy, is this here is giving me in feet and inches. So it's telling me that it's 5 foot 8 inches and like 3 point something of another inch. It's not. Yeah, I get your point, but it's not giving it in decibels. It's giving it to me in feet and inches. So the 0.8339, whatever I'm getting, is the inches, isn't the decimal to an inch, because it's in feet. And they wouldn't give you 6 feet plus the remainder in centimeters, or they give it you in inches, and it's 8. Yeah, I know it's right. It's literally written in front of me. Literally telling me. I went onto free websites now. Feet. I'll do it again. Feet and inches converter. 1.7 convert. Oh, this website is saying it different. Actually, they're saying that is actually. Oh, that. Hang on. I mean, okay. That's saying it's higher. Hang on a minute, then. That's saying it's 5 foot 10 inches. Okay, Google's got it wrong, then, people. I apologize. I put it into Google.
It's telling me now. I'm looking at it on the converter maniacs, and it's saying that 1.78 meters is 5.8398 feet, which is equivalent to 5.84.
Yeah, I'm getting it different elsewhere. I'm gonna change it. I'm just gonna say he's 5. I'm gonna say now he's 5'10". Having said that, what does Google say Lisandro Martinez is? Hang on. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. I've gone to, oh yeah, so he's 5.7, you see. So he is actually shorter. That's maybe why I got wrong. Here he is 5.88. Fair enough. I went on to a different converter here, and that's telling me in a different kind of way. So fair enough. Fair enough. But either way, no one's going to talk about him being short, but he is actually 2 inches, 1.5 inches taller. So I suppose no one will talk about it. Fair play for clearing it up, my friend. Kounde is 5'10". Martinez is 5'9". There is not much between them, but I bet Sky won't talk. Of course, they won't talk about it. Google have got to sort this out. But then I've just gone to another website and it's done the same thing where it's giving me the feet and the inches, and it's saying 1.78 is 5. Again, I don't know. I'm confused. Yeah. I'm just gonna say it then. I'm gonna go 5'10". I'm gonna settle on 5'10", my people. That's
5'9". It's in the middle.
And people tell me I can't be told. I can take new information. What's this here? It's not about signings for Chelsea. It's about consistently spending, even if players flop. That's done out here. Man United spent 1.2. But Chelsea is still. I get your points, but what's your point there, Sully? Like, I don't really get your point in there, my friend. I don't really get my point in there. I don't really get your point there, my friend. City made a huge mistake getting rid of Raheem Sterling. I think a lot of people might agree with that. This here says, I don't care. Barca have been moving dodgy. Suspect as they haven't been moving dodgy. Nothing Barca have done is dodgy. They just sold their TV rights off and raised more money, and they've paid their debts off. But they still need to get rid of players so they can register people. They've done nothing dodgy. It's just, you know,
aren't they putting themselves in more debt by signing players like Lewandowski and Rafinha along with this? So, do you get what I mean?
I don't think they're in more debt. I mean, a lot of their deals as well, they're paying off over. And one of the reasons why Chelsea got this deal done, and what I read yesterday, was very much they are paying like much more favorable terms. So 55 million, and I think you're paying it over 3 years, where Barca are like, we'll pay you 50. Maybe they'll match. I think they offered less. So they offered like 45, 50 million pounds in conversion. They wanted to pay nothing year one, like they've done with a few other teams, and then pay it over a 5-6 year period. They really want to spread that debt. So the risk for Barca is if their players flop. That's where it could go really wrong for Barcelona.
Have you seen the clause that Leeds have got in their contract for Rafinha? So basically, if Barca miss a payment, they have to pay an additional 10 million on top.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's mad. That's mad. I think people forget when talking about small centre backs, they don't talk about their ability to read the game. Kounde and Martinez fit into this bracket. Of course they do. And also Kounde and Martinez are better than 99% of the rest of the Premier League's midfielders are playing out from the back. Technically on the ball, barring, I would say barring Van Dijk, barring Diaz,
Silva, I'd probably say. I think Silva's very good.
Silva, and a couple of others. I'm thinking off the top of my head. Those guys probably already go into the top 10 bracket of playing out from the back. And in modern day football, that is far more important. It's far more important than how tall you are and stuff like that. So I completely agree with that. There was another super chat that came through here. I can't find it. Where are we at? Someone here saying, Terry, you were wrong. Why can't you admit it? I did admit it. What I've done, I've conceded. Like I always say, I have an opinion. I read something. Someone showed me something else. New fact. Changed my mind. Facts change my mind, not opinion.
No, that's being human, Terry.
What are the chances of Jorge Mendes will try to reach out to clubs like Chelsea and Bayern again for Ronaldo? Great question. In my opinion, already, I spoke to someone very well connected to the Portuguese agent today who told me that for now they've walked away from Bayern Munich. They're not pursuing it any further. They're going to focus on Ati. And he said 2 other clubs. He couldn't tell me who they were. I said, fine. I went to him because of all the rumors today that he's willing to take a pay cut, and he is willing to take a considerable pay cut because he knows if he stays at Man United, his pay is dropping by £200,000 a week anyway. So he's essentially saying, I'll take a pay cut. I'm then intrigued to see what happens if Atletico get close on a lower wage, if the Chelseas and the Bayerns, depending on who they can and can't land between now and the end of the window, might go, hang on, though. Look, maybe on a year deal with an option for us to extend at 300 grand a week, Ronaldo might be worth it. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Chelsea and Bayern linked to him again later on in the window, even though right now nothing is happening with that deal, is what I'd say. Hassan here says 5.8 feet is not the same as 5 feet in inches. Yeah, what I'm saying to you, Hassan, the website I was on, the first converter, said to me 5.83 inches. It literally said the word inches to me. I went to another one. So I just read something different. And then I was laughing at some of their responses. So I apologize. I'm going to go with what you guys are saying. You've convinced me. You have changed my mind. And not very many people are able to do that. But I mean, actually, that's not true. It's got to give me a new fact. And then I'll change my mind. What we saying here, people? Big up, Jem. Man, like, shout out for Jem.
Yeah, right now. Big up, Jem.
Romano sits on the fence because the deal could be hijacked like Rafinha was. It's partly that, but I think if it can be hijacked, I mean, I do that when I'm given information from people or I speak to journalists or read things or I want to put out an opinion. Even yesterday when I said Jules Kounde is close, in my thread it said, but Barca are still interested because they are. And I think for me, it's funny really because I got a big Chelsea account call me out yesterday for sharing the news, and it made me laugh because I'm like, fans get really annoyed though, but that's the point. Yeah, fans like you when you're saying nice things about their club. Right now, I'm getting called a Chelsea simp. In a few weeks, if I say something's wrong with Chelsea fans are like, screw you, I ain't listening no more. Everybody just wants to have their egos massaged. It's very true. Terry, are you related to Andrew Tate? No, I'm not American. And I'm not. I watched Andrew Tate fight before when I was younger. He used to fight in one of the same circuits as me. As it goes, people, we need another 700 likes before we give out those free memberships. I want to give out the free memberships today, so please hit that like button for us. Man like Dominic, thank you for signing up as a member of the Football Terrace. I'm not too sure which membership program you have picked. You've picked an academy member, so thank you very much, my friend. My point is Daddy Roman is gone. No owner is willing to throw money like that. Top 4 is their limit from now on.
What Chelsea saying?
Yeah, Chelsea's limit is that.
That's not entirely true, is it? Because we haven't seen, it's still very early doors to be talking about Bowley and Roman Abramovich comparisons. You know, if anything, if you look at what he's done in such a short space of time and how well he's done, and that the fact that we ain't still finished, could be a case that he ends up buying. The amount of players that we end up buying would probably be more than Roman's ever done in one season anyway. Do you know what I mean? So you just don't know. Yeah. You just got to wait. This is too early to compare, man.
No, listen, I completely agree. I really, really do. I think that time has got to be given to this new ownership. It really has. Terry, what's your opinion on hobnobs? Hobnobs are probably the best biscuits, like standard biscuits in a packet that you can buy for dunking in hot tea, because they don't break and fall apart. Hobnobs are like if biscuits were like people, they'd be Marines, they'd be soldiers. Like they're tough, they're strong. I like an obnob. Very, very good. Keep up the great work, Terry, and big up Jen. Hit the like button, guys. Thank you very much indeed. We're nearly on 700 likes now, 1,250, and I'm giving away 10 memberships. And by the way, there's 3,000, nearly 3,500 watching. If we hit 2,000 likes, I'll give away 20 memberships. There you go. You've had it put out there. Get it done. David's joining us very, very soon. I've just got to get a few things changed on my screen before I do that. We've got more memberships signing up here. Memberships are going crazy. Oh, hang on. Somebody's gifted some memberships. I've just seen 56 new members join the Football Terrace.
Wow.
I don't know who gifted them, though. I haven't seen who gifted them because I didn't have the stream up elsewhere. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah, no, 45 new members. Thank you. Here is ZZ Dana for gifting out 45.
Wow.
So he just become a member. He didn't gift them. Somebody's gifted out like 50 memberships. I don't know who's done it. Hang on. Let me just go to the stream properly on like my desktop. That will tell me who did it. Bear with me a second, my people. You're gonna hear a bit of playback for a second, so just relax. Someone gifted them, and I want to find out who did because it doesn't come up on StreamYard, and I didn't have the stream up on another window. So bear with me. That was gifted by Dan. Gifted out 50 memberships. Wow. So thank you very much, Dan, for doing that. I don't exactly know who got them, but I can see Satimo Werner got one, Joseph got one, and many, many more. Make sure you keep. I'm going to echo that. I'll give out 20 more. We're going to up it, 1,500 likes, and I'll give out 20 more free memberships on this show, people. So go and get that done right about now. Make sure the like button is being smashed. I'm going to get David on the show. In a minute, I'm going to get Winter. I'm going to share the link as well for people. I've just got to change the graphic round though, because if I put David on, won't be able to see his face because it'll be covered up by the QR code for our
super chats as well. Yeah, because some of them just gone from what I've just seen
to our VPN provider. So I'm just going to update that, get a new overlay on, and then we'll bring David on to have his say with us. So thank you, people. Hang on a second here. Sorry, I'm literally trying to catch up. I normally have KJ backstage, but he's finished for the week now.
Meantime, guys, smash the likes, man. Get these likes up. Get these likes up. Right.
Get it done, people. Get it done now. And whatever. We are going to talk about some other teams on this show as well today. It's not just Chelsea, even though they're the big dominant headline, but they've been the big talking point because they've signed a colossal player. There we go. That's changed. We're going to bring David in now to have his say with us on the show. Welcome back, David. Jules Kounde finally over the line. What are you saying, mate?
Happy with the signing. Just another signing. It's good. I just don't know why everyone's so worried about what's going on. Just relax. Like, honestly, everyone just needs to relax because this whole thing this summer of get your business done as fast as possible. Yeah, it's good, but you can still make signings a couple of weeks later. Like, it's not the end of the world. So, Chelsea fans, everyone needs to keep their heads. Stop worrying about what everyone else is doing. Just focus on the club, and it's going well. So yeah, it's good signing.
It absolutely is. Sorry, Winter Surfer here says Arsenal fans are like rich tea biscuits. If you're not familiar with British biscuits, that's going to go right over your head. Chelsea lost to Charlotte FC, who was founded in 2020, actually 2019. They were founded in. But are you guys panicking about your pre-season at all? Because some people are putting a lot of like pressure on Chelsea, or you're this, you've been dead, you're not performing very well. Where are you boys at?
Doing that. Let's be serious. It's the rivals. I know some small minority of Chelsea fans are being a little bit picky because they don't like Tuchel's formations, or to be serious, they probably just don't want Tuchel because we have that small minority in our fan base. But no, you know, these are pre-seasons about fitness, guys. Do you know what I mean? And when you look at the lineup, like especially in the second half, we had a midfield of Kennedy and Ampadu, like. Do you know what I mean? Not to say that can't work, but like, you know, it's not, you know, with Kennedy off the right, Emerson off the left, Colwill was at the back, and I think who was on the right of that? I think it was Chalobah, wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
What I'm saying is the chemistry ain't there as well, is it? Like, let's just calm down. He's not really looking at anything other than the fitness element, and obviously trying to see what some of these players can stay moving forward.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of panic for absolutely no reason. Uncle Jester here says in the pantheon of I actually read that word well. I think the pantheon is my favorite church in Rome is called the Pantheon. So that's a word I've read and like. In the pantheon of centre backs, where to be the where to the trumpets of Thiago Koulibaly and Kounde rank. Add Chilwell and Reece James to it, and you might have the best defense ever. I mean, Chelsea have got one of the best defenses ever under JT. But when you look at that as your main, if that's like a back five you play, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Those three are ridiculous. That's a ridiculous. Like it's just. I don't even know. There are no words for it. You've got Thiago Silva, who's just he's just positioned incredibly. He's always there. And you've got the physical ability of Koulibaly to help you with the aerial duels, because apparently, having short centre backs can be a problem. Even though I kind of think Lissandro might be a bit short, but whatever. And then you've got Kounde, who on the ball is fantastic. Aerially, he's pretty decent, but it'll be interesting to see how it transfers over to the Premier League. He's a good young centre back who can grow to be an even better centre back. So it's just really good. Thiago and Koulibaly, just as a two, is fantastic already. So adding Kounde on top of that is even better. So,
cherry on the cake, mate.
Yeah, without a shit. I mean, I said it the other day. You're looking at it, and it again on paper, it could be the best. It could be the best in the league. I mean, Liverpool's is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. Yeah. That's why I said on paper, you've got to see it perform. But I'm talking about with that Tuchel system. If Tuchel can make you guys next season as hard to break down as you've been the majority of his time at the club, you could be a very difficult team to play next year. You're already a difficult team to play, but you get my point. Joshua here says, question for the Chelsea boys. What are your expectations for the season, given that many fans, mainly Arsenal fans, are saying you are finished? What are you saying on that one, David? And then I'll go to Jem.
I think it's the biggest load of nonsense I've ever seen. First of all, with Arsenal is my main I have my main problem with. Arsenal fans think that they're going to be better this year because they've made signings, even though I don't really think their signings have dramatically improved them. And they have more games a week than they did last year. And when they were completely focused on the Prem, they came fifth. So now you have the Prem and the Europa League, and they expect to be higher in the Prem and challenge for a really long time in the Europa League, even though their squad already had problems with not being able to finish the season properly because they had too many injuries. To me, in my head, it doesn't make sense. They don't have a better squad than anyone in the current top four. They don't have a better manager than anyone in the current top four. So how they're going to finish in the top four, to me, doesn't make any sense. Logically, it doesn't add up. So Arsenal, I don't even consider. I'm more worried about Man United than I'm worried about Arsenal, if I'm being honest. Spurs, I think Spurs is an interesting one because depending on what you think of Spurs' transfers will depend on how good you think they're going to be. If you really rate Perisic and you really rate Jed Spence and you really rate Clement Longley, then obviously you're going to think Spurs are going to massively improve. I think Spurs will improve because they have Conte for a whole season, but I don't think they're going to improve more than we will improve because we're still going to make signings. One thing I'm really confused about is when people make their predictions today, which to me is also a bit stupid. They don't add in the fact that Chelsea will sign more people. They think that this is just how business is completely finished over. There's still another 5-6 weeks of the window. So Chelsea are obviously going to improve. Man United, I think, will also improve. Spurs, do I see them really doing much more? Probably not, because they've already signed quite a lot of people. Arsenal, do I see them doing more? Yeah. Depending on what the area they improve on will depend on what my position is. Because if they go and sign another striker, is that going to move the needle? Probably not. If they go and sign a midfield Partey replace, someone who could come in when Partey's injured, then you sit there and go, okay, they've covered that gap. They still have other gaps, but you've covered a gap. That can improve you. So for me personally, the way I'd rank it right now, I'd go City first, Liverpool second, Chelsea third, Tottenham fourth, United fifth, Arsenal sixth. That's how I do it. That's my personal order.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense. I've got a comment here I just want to read out quickly. It says, Terry, why is your channel all about pitting fans of different clubs together? Because when I had the idea, nobody else was doing it, and I wanted to do something that was original. And do you know how I know that it's worked? Since I've done it, and I'm not saying they're copying me, so nobody clip it and say that, but you've seen the things like DR Sports be created, which is essentially rivals watching various sports together. You've seen That's Football be launched by Mark Goldbridge, where he talks about other football teams. You've seen brilliant shows like The Big Six be created, which is rivals talking to each other. So I know this model works. I just didn't want to be a generic fan channel that only gave one voice about one club. And generally, like a lot of the generic fan channels have been, it's almost one side of the opinion on most of them as well. The dead ones, by the way, the really good ones, the big ones are the ones that allow all types of opinion. But that's why we did it. So not a strange question. I don't know if you're having a dig, but that's why we did it, my friend, because I want it to be different. And I don't like going with, I'm not a sheep. So I'll always do things differently to other people. Just that's what I do. A comment here says, look at this Chelsea fans happy. I used to enjoy the TFT to the fullest. I still love the show, but FSG are ruining my summer. Listen, I mean, it's funny because Liverpool do need something else to try and win this league title. There's no doubt about it, and they haven't gone and done it as of yet. We are going to bring Abdul in soon. Of course, his team got battered by Chelsea today to this player. Winter Surfer's going to join us, young Tommy and more on the show to have his say. But one of the other stories that's gone out this afternoon, I mentioned it earlier, is Bayern Munich have ruled themselves out of trying to land De Jong. What are you saying, Jem? Do you fancy a cheeky punt at him? I mean, Barca still want to get rid of him, by all accounts. We know the Barca. This is, you know, it's really funny though. It's really funny. I had all these Chelsea fans telling me today, I told you, Terry, you should never trust the Barca press. I'm like, bro, this is one particular guy. I was like, bro, you've been bantering me and telling me that De Jong's off based on what the Barca press have said. It's a mad world. But you guys think Chelsea, what do you think, Jeb? Should Chelsea now go in for Frankie De Jong now that Bayern Munich have ruled themselves out?
I think it's hard because he's made it very clear himself that he don't want to go. And like, he got Laporta walking around trying to like force him out the door a little bit, or trying to at least entertain clubs with him and waiting for people to sort of buy it. And look, ultimately, if Chelsea do that and they think that De Jong's the one player that they need to add to this midfield, I wouldn't say no to it. Ultimately, does it solve our issue, which is having someone that can sit as a DM and allow to have maybe like a 2-8s in front sort of thing? I don't know if that's his kind of game. I think he's more of a player that likes to press forward. We already know that he's very good on the ball, being that he plays for Barcelona anyway, and he would fit in the Tuchel system in terms of the way that we dominate possession and etc. etc. So yeah, ultimately it can make a bit of sense. I actually think it makes more sense than it does Man United, personally. I know you guys need a midfielder, but I think you need someone. I actually think you kind of need something a bit like what we do. But then again, I haven't watched enough of Ten Hag to understand how he's setting up. And I haven't been watching your pre-seasons, but in terms of formations and how he's setting up with like your 3 in the middle, or if it's a 2 or whatever. So I don't know. I feel that if Chelsea are going to go for him, then yeah, I wouldn't say no to it. I think some Chelsea fans would entertain it and like it. Some others turn their mind to it because they want that ideal Declan Rice that's played in the Premier League and runs with the ball and looks very good to the eye and all this stuff. But yeah, another story, another day.
Yeah, I hear you on that, mate. I do. A few people in the comments talking about the new. Yes, we do have a new logo. The Football Terrace has a new logo, and we've got it's coloured for each club as well. We've got the black and white in inverted terms for us, and then there's a colour schemed one for all the football clubs. The emojis are available to all of our members to use. Someone hits Zinchenko is fully complete. Yeah, just as I want to check something actually on that. Let me just check something. When did I do my video saying it was done? I'm going to count the days. That was the 18th. So that's 4 to, yeah. So I said
tier one Terry.
Tier 1 tap intel. 4 to 5 days from when you get the sort of here we go. 4 to 5 days minimum, generally a little bit longer. So that's been announced now. Zinchenko is an Arsenal. That's a good signing for Arsenal, to be fair. Winter Surfer's joining us now. What you saying, bro?
Yeah. Man, I don't know what I'm doing this summer. Daddy Roman's gone. We've got no pool. The Americans aren't going to spend anything. I don't know what I'm going to do this summer. Up yours, rivals. Brilliant. I can't, if we get another attacker, midfielder, wing back, I think it's a great summer. It's already a great summer. It's much better than last summer. We spent 2.5 months talking about an imaginary Haaland deal and then signing that useless lump up field. But I think it's a great signing. Crown jewels at Stamford Bridge, that'd be good. And you know what? they're putting their money where their mouth is. They've announced as well, like they're pumping in 800 million to regenerate the stadium and everything like that. At the moment, they're putting their words into action, and that's all that we wanted when they took over. So I'm extremely happy. On De Jong, I take De Jong at Stamford Bridge. Is exactly what we need. That type of player. I mean, if we get De Jong, I don't know about St Maximin. No, I'm a bit like Jim. I'm a bit like I think he's a show pony. Do you know what I mean? Flicks and tricks. We've already got enough attackers with no end result. We don't need St Maximin as well, so I wouldn't take him. But I'm very excited.
But quickly on Bowley, is I said one of the things that any owner can do straight away to pull the fan base aside in the short term is just spend money. And ultimately, when Tuchel said that he's going to rebuild, I always thought they would kind of do this. It was just whether they were going to get the correct profile players for Tuchel and then on how many. For me, it's still the long-term project. What happens in season 3? What happens in season 4? Do they still have the same hunger? Are they going to, still back the managers and improve in certain areas? And these are things that I think we're going to have to see at a later stage. But at the moment, tick. But, how do you get a fan base aside? You just buy players. do you know what I mean? Like,
you absolutely do. I want to say a big thank you here to TK for becoming a member of the Football Terrace. Thank you very, very much indeed. We appreciate that massively here. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Next on the line, Abdul is joining us. He's a Barca fan. They've been smashed out the park today. What are you saying, Abdul?
Yo, Terry, I'm not really that upset over it, to be fair, bro. Nah, bro, I'm going to be honest and tell you why. And Chelsea fans, they're going to experience this soon because for us and in this market, getting attackers was always the most important thing because the attackers market is so dead this summer. It's such a dead market. You can see it like Chelsea are being linked to St Maximin, bro. That's how dead this market is. And I feel like the centre-back market, say what you want, there's still a lot of options out there, There is still a lot of options available. And I'm not really stressing that much over it because, let's be honest, even Tuchel doesn't even rate Kounde that highly, bro. That's why he went for De Ligt, Ake, Kimpembe before he even went to Kounde. So I'm not really stressed like that over Kounde. I do think he's a good signing, to be fair, because he has impressed me every time I've seen him. And Sevilla's defensive record, I think it was the best in the league last season. So he must be a good player, bro. So congrats to you guys. You going to say something
really quickly? Yeah, you go on about forwards, and I agree with you. Don't get me wrong, Lewandowski is a great signing for you guys. I get it, but ultimately, your sense like the central back area is still so important. And when you look at what supposedly Xavi wanted, and this is what we were being told in the reports, was that he wanted Koulibaly, he wanted Kounde, and he wanted Christensen, and I can't remember the other guy that's already there. I can't remember his name. Anyway, but that's what he wanted. You tried to get Koulibaly to wait till January because you couldn't get him this window. He didn't. Tried to get Kounde, and you didn't even bid for him. You've got Christensen. Who else have you got at the back now? Christensen, maybe Aspilicueta. You might end up getting a
But can I have to interrupt you because you're wrong? But you're wrong.
Backline is going to be
Koulibaly was a backup option. No. I'm sorry. No. But it's wrong. First of all, Koulibaly was a backup option if Kounde didn't come. We were never going to get both of them. Koulibaly was always a backup option if Kounde didn't come. So from that sense, you guys have done us over because you've taken our backup option and Kounde and our primary target. But bro, there is plenty of targets out there. And
you still have questions.
Let me land.
Hold on.
Let me land.
Hold on.
Wait, one second. We took the best striker available in the market. You're begging a guy who scored 6 goals for Southampton last season all summer to stay at your club. There is no other attacker out there that can do anything like a Rafinha or like a Lewandowski at their level, bro. So you guys are fucked now because I'm sorry for swearing, bro. But there is like the attacker.
You ain't got no centre backs, brother.
I was gonna say you're away. Christensen's your best centre back.
No, he's not.
Do you know how mad that is?
But he isn't.
Like your best centre back.
Ronald Araujo is clear of any centre back you guys have.
He's not your best centre back. He's your second best centre back. We were in that position last year. That's not a good thing to be in. It's not a good
No,
thing.
no, okay, but let me take you through this.
You got Aspi playing wing back.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
You got
You
Alonso
guys,
playing wing back.
so far
Come
this
on.
summer, wait, one
Come
sec.
on.
So far this summer, you guys have just replaced players who's left. You haven't actually added anything new to your squad.
But other players we've added in improvement on
Oh,
what we had.
better, bro.
100%.
I wanted to say something to Terry, bro. I wanted to say something to Terry.
Hey, go on, Labdor.
Yeah, I
on
wanted
it.
to say something
Love
to
break,
you,
bro.
and this is from yesterday's show, bro. Actually, from yesterday's show, because what Nick said pissed me off yesterday in regards to Memphis Depay, bro, because it was the most out of context opinion I've ever seen in my life. Like, he was slating Memphis Depay, saying this guy is not good enough. He's not gonna cut it in the Premier League. He's not gonna cut it for us. But bro, who else are you gonna sign? The market is dead, bro, and you need players. Then this is the thing that annoys me, is that people give their opinions out of context. Like, can you Chelsea fans tell me who are you gonna sign for your attack? Havertz is
Not Memphis
he's
Depay,
shit,
that's
bro.
for sure.
No,
He's shit.
hey, you will find a player. There are
Who?
players.
Wait, give me a name. Give me a name. But you play FIFA, bro. Give me a name.
I play
Abdul, the thing is though, what you're better off doing is signing no one and waiting for someone better to come along than signing Memphis Depay.
I agree to you. I agree slightly because yes,
Memphis is not better than anything Man United have already got.
No, he is. He's better than Martial and Rashford. I'm sorry.
Again, I don't think he is. I don't think he is. So,
but even if I was to agree that he's not better, Terry, you have to be honest with me. You still need an attacker, regardless whether Depay is good enough.
Again. Man United and Chelsea, separate situations. Chelsea were very recently Champions League winners and should be with their manager where their club has been challenging for titles. We're at the beginning of a rebuild. If we can't get the right players now, yes, I'd like one. But this whole, if you don't get that striker, it's season over for you. But we're not looking at next season. We're looking at the medium to long term when you start a rebuild. So I'm relaxed about it, bro. We need to sign the right players of the right standard. And we need to stop doing what we've done for the last 9 years that you will ridicule us for. And that's wasting money on substandard quality. So what you can't do is banter us for 9 years. And criticize, forget banter. You can't criticize Man United for a decade and say you waste money on substandard players and then go, you guys should just go out and sign substandard players because you've got holes in your team. That makes no sense. You're literally.
But how can you call Martial a better player than Memphis Depay?
Hang on, your club signed him and is already willing to get rid of him for 20 million quid.
First of all, he was signed on a 2-year deal, so he has 1 year left on his contract. And second of all, he was our top scorer.
You signed him on a 2-year deal. That tells you everything you need to know, Abdul. Listen, my guy, thanks for calling in and having your say. I appreciate it, mate. Speak again soon. Thank you. Listen, I'm not even getting into debate the Martial.
Terry, you're right. It's like Chelsea fans say, we just need another attacker. We're already struggling to get rid of the deadwood we got now. We need to buy the right player. We can't afford to spend 40, 50 million and then have him there 2 years later earning 200 grand a week. It's just
I agree. And as I say, like, people keep saying this to me as a United fan, you need to get all these positions filled. We do, but we don't need to do it all this summer. This notion that we were going to fill all these supposed holes in one summer, rivals have made it up, the media have made it up, and the mushrooms have made it up. Yeah. Who thought, if you think we've got 10 holes in our team, who's signing 10 first-team players in one summer? Even Spurs ain't done it. Spurs have got 6 players, they've got 5 at a push. The way they're throwing Fraser Foster in there like it's a proper signing is crazy. You know what I mean? The backup goalie. It's a backup goalie. They've signed 5 players, which is amazing. One of them is a bang average centre-back. One's a backup goalkeeper. One's a pensioner who's going to play wing-back. They've signed 3 proper players this summer. 3 proper players, that's it. Let's go to some of these more of these super chats and we're going to do some more calls here. Hopefully we see Hutchinson against Udinese. I'm not Italian. I want to see what he is about because I don't know anything about him. A few days ago, had no club at all. He was at Chelsea as a kid. Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. I want to say thank you to Blue Dragon for becoming an official Football Terrace member. Derek here says, you've got to multiply the decimal by 12 inches. I hear you, bro. I'm just saying I was reading the website. And that's what it was telling me in inches. I can't say any clearer than that. I'm very sorry for using Google. I want to say thank you to Daniel, who's become an official member of the Terrace. We will get the new TFT logo as a tat. Will I get it as a tat? Man United win the league this year, I'll get the new Football Terrace logo as a tattoo. If Man United win the league, I'll get it done. Honest opinion, closing the gap to within 10 points of City would be a win for Chelsea this season, win the league the season after. I mean, if you guys close the gap by 10 points, it doesn't need to be the same points as last year, but close it by 10 points, won a trophy and were highly competitive, that's still a pretty good season, right?
Depends what the trophy is.
Okay, yeah, I hear you on that one there.
That's true.
G here says, so for all the caliber of players that we are signing, right, all our Class A players and Tuchel's first choice, if he continues, then Bowley will be the GOAT. Well, if it works this year and you guys do a madness, he will be. Time to put the brown envelopes back in the drawer. I think that was to Labdul. That's what you're being called today, Abdul, is Labdul. Why are you and the Muppets having Liverpool second after losing Mane? You are all calling Nunes another Andy Carroll. That's called banter, mate. That's called banter. That's banter. Your defense has been weak for over 20 years because you had Messi up front. Now it's come to fruition. Everyone else said as soon as Messi leaves, Barca is done out here, even before your fraud issues. It's what Ab says. Nick here says, so glad Kounde is getting over the line and Barca thinking they could buy anyone with next to no funds. Karma is what's said there. And new players when you can't pay your current ones. Yeah, that is a little bit peak, and I kind of get that. We got more here. Oh God, we've got even more super chats. I can't even cope. We need players, but you need money. Have fun with Christiansen is what he's got to say. Terry, good show again. Can we see the beautiful brown Arsenal lady tonight? Listen, her name's Jess, and not like just rolling her out here so she can smile at you, my old mate. But she'll be on the show next week, Tuesday. Straight facts. Dear baby Jesus, please allow Barca to find their way out of the group stages of the Champions League so they can send their broke behinds back home, is what's said there. I think that's up to date with this. Oh, another super chat here that says, real talk, you had refs on your side in the Champions League and your true Champions League champions. Yeah, whatever. We know, bro. UK press have been on you for years about it. You know you're corrupt. Come on now, is what Nav's got to say to the Barca fan. Next on the show, I'm going to go to Lamin. Lamin's a Chelsea fan. What are you saying, mate?
Yes, Terry, man. I don't know what the last Barcelona fan was saying, talking about Christensen was our best defender, and him trying to flog their flops to us like Depay. If he's so good, then why don't you keep him? We don't need him. But anyways, about Kounde, yeah, I'm so glad we got him through the door, because if we miss that to Barca again, I don't know. Like I can't hack that. I would have just lost my head still. But yeah, I'm happy about that. And one thing about winning titles, yeah, they're always built on great defense, and Tuchel is building a really good defense. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. The next step for us, yeah, is to get rid of all of these deadwoods that we have. I don't want to see Timo Werner. I said it time and again. I don't like this guy. I don't want him in my club. I don't want to see Kepa in the club. Someone please take them. I don't even mind if we sell them to a rival. Just go. And we've got other deadwood there as well. I mean, I've been supporting Chelsea for a long time, yeah. So it's very hard for me to admit, in pre-season, that we're not going to challenge for the league. I can't lie. I have been spoiled. I know I have. But at this stage, if we make the right signing, all of these people saying, "Oh, let's just close the gap," it's not in me to just admit that. Yeah, in pre-season, we're just gonna go in there and close the gap. I want a title challenge, and I'm putting it out there. That's deep down. That's really what I want, because that's all I've known. But when we'll see, we definitely need an attacker. We need a goal scorer, and if we can get that, yeah, I know our defense is solid. I'm not so sure about Liverpool. I think they've missed out really by selling Mane, and Nunes really looks like a target man than anything to me. So I'm not sure they're gonna be all that. City are a problem, but I think if we get the right players in, we can definitely go for it. We can definitely challenge, and I'm not sure about Haaland as well, only because of this first season tax, yeah, that I've seen happen so many times. especially to my club. So maybe fingers crossed, Haaland flops next season, and then we can close the gap even more. So that's probably more hope than anything. But yeah, we'll see. We go, man.
We will wait. Listen, Lamin, great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on, bro. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you. We had some more super chats. New players when you can't. Oh, so I had that one. Sorry. There's only one winger I would like Chelsea to sign, and it's Antony. I pray we sign him, not United. Well, Rob Blanchard. I mean, Rob Blanchard has said today that Ajax are ready to sell. Obviously, Ajax publicly have said we don't expect to. That word "we don't expect to" means it can be done for the right money. And I was making this point earlier, boys, and I want your opinion on this. Man United have been ridiculed because we might end up paying 10 to 13 million pound over the asking price for Antony. But yet there's no criticism of City that may end up having to pay double the market valuation of Cucurella at 50 million when he's valued at around 25 million. Why is it certain clubs get like ridiculed for overspending and others are allowed to do it?
No one cares about City. So, for starters, it's true. No one cares. Look at the Haaland's one of the greatest. Haaland's looking like we're going to be one of the greatest players in the future. Some for City, no one cares. It's the same. I would just take it as a compliment. You know, you're being ridiculed. That's why I love when Chelsea I hate. I hated when everyone loved Chelsea under Frank Lampard. That was you mocking us. I hate it. I love to be hated. You know what I mean? I love to be hated. I want to be ridiculed. I want there to be debates about Kounde's height. Like you've had debates about Martinez's height. I just want it to be, because that means it's all quiet now, isn't it? After this transfer window. Before it was like, oh, you guys aren't going to sign anyone. Sterling, Koulibaly, Kounde. No one's saying anything at the moment. You're all in fear. I know you're all in fear because of what this regime might do. But I would just take it as a compliment, Terry. I would just take, I would revel in it. I would revel in it. I would smile.
I hear that, mate. I want to say thank you to Wayne. That's 60. I want to say that's 60 new members during this live stream, which is absolutely phenomenal. Thank you, Wayne, for becoming a member. To the panel, surprise player of this season. Who's going to be surprise player of the season?
Kounde.
That's an easy one. Do you know what I'm going to go with? I'm going to trigger people in mine. Resurgence, revenge season. Marcus Rashford. He's going to score. He's going to contribute over 30 goals this season. He's going to have a brilliant year.
Oh, I'm going to go with Gabby Jesus because I think he's going to be worse than everyone else. That's the surprise.
Oh, what
That's
you mean?
I have this thing with Gabby Jesus where I just think he misses too many chances. Like he just does. I don't know what he does. He just misses chances. And at Arsenal, he's not going to get 5 chances a game like he does at Man City. So to me, in my head, it's like you're going to get 1 chance, 2 chances a game, and you're probably going to miss 70%, 80% of them. You're getting up with 5 goals at the end of the season, and suddenly you look like Eddie Nketiah. And then, yeah.
Do you know what I find interesting about it is like the reason I want Rashford to do it, the same as I wouldn't mind. I would love it to be Maguire as well. I want to see the mushrooms get out of it. I want to see them. I want to see how the mushrooms like. I want to see what they say. That's like more. Even more, that's really petty of me, more than my own club being successful. I'm like, I want to see what they say if a player like that was to do well under Ten Hag. It'd be interesting. Terry, try and get Big Steve on sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. Big Steve's always welcome. Everyone's welcome on the terrace. No one is unwelcome here. As a Chelsea fan, Depay reminds me of Ziyech. Hot 1 minute, cold the next. We don't need inconsistent players like that. Consistency is key. Listen, you guys are better off going to Crystal Palace and going after some of their young wingers than Memphis. I really do mean that. Like, I don't mean it rudely. Young Tommy's on the show now. What are you saying, young man? By the way, guys, if we hit another 30 likes, I'm giving away 10 memberships. If we hit another 250 before we end, I'm going to give away 20. It's on you. What are you saying, young Tommy?
Hey, guys. How are you guys? You guys good?
Yeah.
Very good, my friend.
Well, yeah, Chelsea are making some great signings. Sterling, great signing for them. Jules Kounde, good signing. It's going to be a good signing for them. Koulibaly. I think Chelsea are making some good moves. Let me ask you guys this: when do you think you guys are gonna fight for the title?
This year?
Yeah, I think there'll be a challenge. I don't know if we'll win, but I think there'll be a challenge. I think that has to. No, I think. Listen, we get another attacker in, a good one. Then I can see us challenging. It's all about. Listen, it's all about luck as well. I don't think you can predict anything with the first, especially the first half of this season. The fixtures are so congested. The managers, they're glad they're going to have this 5-sub rule because they're going to rotate a lot.
Yeah.
Most of the big teams are playing 3 to 4 games. Sorry, 3 to 4 games every 3 to 4 days. So, and then they've got the stupid international break in between as well. So,
the World Cup.
I listen. I think there has to be a challenge, and we have to get as close as possible. So,
Yeah, because you've got obviously you've got a world class manager in Thomas Tuchel. I would love him at Arsenal, and you've got a good squad, so you should be in that race with Liverpool and Man City. So yeah, you should be in that.
The key for Chelsea is not really worrying about the games against Liverpool and Man City. Is beating the others that we drew against and lost against. That's the key. That's the key. If we turn those into the more points, then we'll get closer. So.
Yeah, and you know, I remember you guys were linked with Lewandowski. I thought you were going to get him, but obviously he's gone to Barcelona. I think Lewandowski was best striker in the world for me, and he'll be a good signing for you. But what strikers do you guys want to get? Like what strikers are you looking to get anyway? Winter Surfer.
I don't know if he necessarily wants a number 9. I don't think he wants a number 9. I don't think he wants another forward player.
I don't think he does. Yeah,
I don't think he does.
It's absolutely
Is he going to play with that false 9 with Kai Havertz?
I believe so.
Potentially, if you look at the players that the Chelsea have been linked to, Tommy, he wants wingers that are penetrative, direct, that are hard to handle. If you look at the people, even that's why there's links to St Maximin, because he has that element. It's just whether there's any end product. Young Tommy, thank you
One more thing about St Maximin. Like Jem, what you said, I rate him. Like his end product is just woeful. Every time I watch him, the guy he's misses a lot of chances. His end product, he's got the dribbles, the everything, the pace. Like, it's just his end product. And Memphis Depay, keep away from that guy. That guy is shit, bro. Garbage. I wouldn't even take him at Arsenal, bro. Look at us. We got Eddie Nketiah, for God's sake.
Dan, I appreciate that, young Tommy. Young Tommy, appreciate you coming on, mate, and having your say. Top man. Thank you. We've gone to member chat only for a moment because another 20 memberships have been gifted by Daniel. I want to try and read out who's got them. So 10 has been given one. Chelsea has been given one. You know, if you've got one, we've got member chat only. So get your comments in now, people. I want to see how many members are here, letting us know what they think and what they feel. We've got like a minute. We've got a minute left to go before I'm going to either give 10 or 20 memberships away. So we need 200 more likes if I'm giving 20 away. Otherwise, it's going to be 10. So you've got literally a minute to get that done, people. And we'll keep going and talking in there. Seal them as bare members. I've never seen this many members in the show before in my life, but that's because 81 people have signed up during the show, which is phenomenal. So thank you very, very much indeed, people. I really do appreciate that. But look, guys, it's good. I mean, Antony's the one though for me. If Ajax are open to selling him, that really could be a player that you guys go in for as well. That could be the next kind of big battle, Man United versus Chelsea for Antony, and that's a much harder battle for us than Arsenal because yes, we've got the Ten Hag factor. But you guys have got the Champions League. And I think that for me is huge. You know what I mean? So I'm not confident about that one. I'm far less confident about that than I was about
I think Man United can match Chelsea in terms of structure of the package. If we was to put one forward for Antony, I think you guys would match it. I don't think it would be like, we can't be like a bit like Barca. We can't match Chelsea like with the Kounde thing. Man United have got money, right? So it would just be down to the player.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Money-wise, I'm not worried about competing with Chelsea. It's more the element of you guys have Thomas Tuchel and Champions League football. If we had Champions League, I wouldn't be worried about it, but we don't. So
it depends who's doing his deals because Todd Bowley didn't do this Kounde deal. It was the other guy who's head of
it was
so I don't know what Todd Bowley's doing, so it depends really. So.
Yeah, it does depend on that. I'm gifting out those 10 memberships now, people. They're on their way too. So another 10 people are going to become members. I hope you didn't walk away with member chat only. So the 10 people are, and I'll read these names out when they come through. Zachariah, Escort 11, Dennis, El Hamsdi, Kevin Marsh, Tony Neary, Daniel, Farhan, Martin and Mohammed have all been gifted Football Terrace memberships. In a month's time, you have to remember to renew them because we've got a lot of content coming your way that's going to be member chat only or only exclusive for members to watch and kind of consume and get involved with. So make sure you are doing it. And I think Daniel has just gifted another 10. He's gifted another 10 memberships out to you all. So I'm going to read these out again. So who's got them this time? So this time, Vincenna, Richie Cool, Jay. Jay was actually backstage. He hasn't been able to get on the call, but Jay's been gifted one because he's here. Roger K, Julian, man like Mohammed. Antony. Mr. Antony, the Chelsea fans got one. Martin, Nikolaya, Sarah, Slovabrov, and Alex Barber. Well done and congratulations to getting your gifted memberships on the show. It means a great deal to us. It does. But people, we're back tomorrow with more content for you. Don't you worry yourselves about that. Loads more content on the way. United playing tomorrow, so I'm probably going to be covering that if you are interested. I'm sure the Chelsea fans don't care about that one, but we'll be doing that. Thank you, Daniel. I really do appreciate all the donations and the new members that you put the Football Terrace's way. Thank you very, very much indeed. It means a great deal. We're back tomorrow. We'll be talking Antony. We'll be talking Liverpool. We'll be talking Arsenal's next move in the Premier League as well. Until next time, Winter Surfer, Jem, David, I was going to call you Daniel then. Appreciate you all coming on. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see